Hi, Deck Reviews here, and today I'm going to do Card Clash. Alright guys, so today I'm going to be doing Card Clash. Card Clash is when I take two decks that are similar. In this case, Theory 11's Rebels deck and Illusionist's Sultan's deck. Compare the two, and then in the end I'll tell you which deck is better, based on design, handling, and looks. Because I actually haven't reviewed either decks, I'm going to give you a brief summary on the design before I clash them together. Starting with the Sultans first. This is what the box looks like. Silver metallic foil all over the box. It's quite a marvel to see. This is a very nice box. Custom seal. And in the inside says that. Join the Republic. This is what the back design looks like. Very clean, simple look. Very traditional looking. Got leaves on it right here and there. Custom pips that has lineage design on it. It's really dark. And on the red cards, half of the reds is lined out. And the court card's faded. The Ace of Spades is a nice throwback to the Artifice Ace of Spades. It kind of looks like that in my opinion. Doesn't take up the whole card though. And the Joker looks like this. A really simple shield. And all the reds are much darker. Alright, in Theory 11's Rebels deck, this is what the box looks like. All filled out, all over. Has really cool eagle. Very American. That's what the side looks like. Here's the back design, a glimpse of it. And it has a really cool tax seal stamp. The inside of the box is red. It's almost camouflaged with my shirt. It's really neat. Standardized faces, recolored with golden monarch looks. Darker reds than usual. Really nice Joker that fills up the cards. Looks like this. You get an identical one. And here's the Ace of Spades, which is also nice. Fills up the whole cards. Alright, so that's a rundown of the design. Now let's start comparing them and clashing them together. Starting with the box. In my opinion, I like the Sultan box more than the Rebels box. Only because it has really cool silver look to it. And it reminds me of the Monarchs a lot in that sense. That's really foiled out and stuff. There's no cool lions on this though. The Rebels box is really cool. It has a tax seal stamp. The red inside is way cooler than the inside of here. Inside here you just get a bunch of barcode numbers in the bottom and something tell you to join the Republic. But overall, I like this box more than the Rebels box. But it's not to say this box is bad at all. This box is really nice as well. Tough pick for me. Sultan box gets the first point. Alright, so now let's go over the design. How the design affects how the cards look in certain displays and stuff. The Sultan deck has a pretty wide border, so when you do fans with it, it's really hard to see the design on the back. You can see some of it, but not too much. The pit placement on the Sultan's also not that great either. Like, it's pretty close to the edge, but not close enough. You have to do pretty big fans in order to see the numbers. And because of the darker reds, the fans don't really pop out that much, in my opinion. Here's what a giant fan looks like with the Sultan's deck. Looks like this. It's alright. It's not the greatest giant fan. But in my opinion, this Sultan giant fan is better than the Rebels giant fan. But for color changes, this deck's not the greatest because it has darker reds. And the color changes don't pop out as much as the Rebels deck. Alright, so here's the Rebels deck. it has the coloration of the standard cards, so the reds are darker than the standard ones, just slightly. And the court cards feature gold on them. Not that that affects displays and stuff, but I think it's a really nice design. The cards have a semi-thin border. It's a lot thinner than the Sultan deck, so this deck could show the design a little more than it, which makes thumb fans on the back look nicer, in my opinion. The pip placement, because it is standardized, is there. You can see the pips completely, which is very nice, making your fans look fuller than usual. Like, this is not even a perfect fan, but the cards look full and fit complete with the pip placement. The giant fans, though, they're not the greatest. This is what a giant fan looks like. The back's really busy, and it has like 4 borders on the back. So in my opinion, this giant fan is not as good as the Sultan's giant fan. But the color changes with this deck is better because it has a brighter red than the Sultan's. So as far as design goes, which one do I prefer? I prefer the looks of the Rebels deck, mainly because I like the pip placement on the cards. It makes my fans look bigger. I like the thinner borders. It makes those displays look nicer. And that's pretty much it. I like the standard coloration more than the striped out, lined out coloration and design on the Sultans. Yeah, not too big of a fan of this. It looks really weird from far away. Alright, so now let's get into the card handling, the most important part about playing cards. The Rebels deck, the Sultan's deck, handles very nice as a standard bicycle stock, I think. Slightly better actually, slightly better stock than that. And a performance coating, making fans, one-hand fans, and springs really easy to do. It is a very high performance quality deck. That feels good in the hands. Though, I'll admit the performance of the deck does not match the card design. This has more of a traditional look to it, but these cards handle like custom modern day-ish decks than a traditional feeling deck. Here, I'll try to explain it some more. Because the Rebels has air cushion finish, and it's a finish I'm used to, this has a more traditional feel than the Sultan's deck, which I like. And plus, with air cushion finish, the final product of the deck is usually unpredictable. The cards could handle good or bad, kind of like the Carnival Regency handle terrible, but it has air cushion finish. And the Monarchs, which are accidentally really good. The Monarchs handle great. This deck handles and feels like the Monarchs deck, which is something I really like a lot. The Rebels has a nice traditional feel to it compared to the Sultans. So yeah, the Sultans, they do handle better than the Rebels, but the Rebels feels better in my opinion. And plus, with the Sultans handling only slightly better and only so and so, I have to recommend the Rebels deck. Not only is the Sultans a lot more expensive than the Rebels deck, it also doesn't match my preference, and the Giant fans are only slightly better than the Rebels. But in all honesty, I don't recommend either decks. Both decks are only mediocre in my opinion. But there you go, I think the Rebels is a better deck. All in all. Because of the traditional feel, the pip placement. Here, see, that's a one-hand fan. And it's almost as big as my thumb fan. Boy, it looks like it because of the pip placement. Yeah, so I wouldn't pay the extra $1 for slightly better handling out of the box. And there you go. That's my card clash. I like the Rebels more. That's my opinion. I think this is the better deck all around. I don't like the Sultan deck all that much. Alright, thanks for watching.